Absolutely unforgivable from the Man United players. They are one of the worst bunch of players I've ever seen. In terms of ability, absolutely nothing. One shot in 94 minutes when you need to win in a must-win European game. Where's the fight? Where's the urgency? It was just a long shot from Luke Shaw that was never going to go in. Absolutely nothing. The quality of the players is a disgrace. The attitude of the players is a disgrace. The intensity is a disgrace. But Erik ten Hag, finishing bottom of your Champions League group with Galatasaray and Copenhagen, is a sackable offence. I don't want Ten Hag sacked, but it feels like it's inevitable now because there's no passion, there's no purpose, there's no desire for the players. It's like the players don't even know anymore. The players don't even care anymore. It's like we have to win to stay in Europe. Bayern Munich aren't even trying. Bayern Munich are stuck in first gear. They don't even care. But yet Man United are still so bad they can't do anything because Man United don't care. Why don't we care? It's a sackable offence. To finish bottom of the group with Galatasaray and Copenhagen and let Copenhagen go through is a sackable offence from Ten Hag. I don't want him sacked. I want to give a manager time because if we keep sacking managers, we're not going to see results. We've got to change other things and then maybe change the manager after because we sack managers and we're in the same position every 2 years. But it's so frustrating because we came third last season, we saw progress, and every single bit of progress we made last season is oomph. And there's so many questions under Erik ten Hag just watching that game like, what did Varane do to not play for 2 months? Varane was brilliant today. And if it's all about passing angles, why was Varane playing left centre-back and Evans playing right centre-back? It feels you've got some weird issue with Varane. You've got to look at the forwards. We've got absolutely no idea going forward. Højlund could barely touch the ball. Garnacho was just not having a good game. Anthony tried, but transition-based football doesn't suit him. And Anthony had a few good runs, but at the end of the day, produced nothing. We wouldn't have scored if the game was 200 minutes long. We wouldn't have generally scored. The ball was never going in the back of the net. We don't even know if we would have had a shot if the game went on for another 30 minutes. And considering that, we have a chance to stay in Europe by winning, you would have think at least there's some urgency, at least there's a shot. It was so easy now. Credit to Kim and Jay, credit to Upamecano. They were absolutely fantastic. But we weren't even looking like scoring. We completely ran out of ideas. And while I'm going to say this, Højlund is young and naive and he's a great player, but it's stupid planning by the club to think that we could have relied on Rasmus Højlund to lead the line all season. Garnacho is young and experienced. He's going to be inconsistent. Anthony was just a big waste of money. Obviously, no one else in attack's really available. The crop of attackers isn't good enough. I'll give Ten Hag that. But at the end of the day, the way we set up, we could have Erling Haaland up front and he wouldn't have a sniff or a shot on target. The way we set up is absolutely abysmal. I have a sympathy for Rasmus Højlund. I have sympathy for him because what can he do when he's not being fed the ball? What can he do? He has to drop deeper to get involved. He's constantly being starved. It doesn't matter who plays striker for United. They are in a graveyard shift. And everyone blames the wingers not crossing, but it's not just about the wingers. It's about the fact that every time United want to attack, they went long. It was great today that they dropped Bruno deeper to Amrabat so it wasn't chaos ball. So we actually had more control and we didn't like conceding 6 goals. But when you drop Bruno next to Amrabat, all of a sudden that creative threat goes because Bruno's dropping deeper and McTominay is now playing as the number 10 that isn't a creative player. And it frustrates me because McTominay you wanted sold. McTominay started about 4 games the second half of last season. You wanted him sold. You're now playing Bruno out of position to accommodate McTominay. You now won't drop McTominay, even though he's holding back the side in every single aspect just because he scores goals. The forwards didn't have a clue today, but the forwards were kept making these runs in behind and you were literally relying on Garnacho and Anthony to make something out of nothing as a winger when they're coming up against, 2 great fullbacks. And the centre-backs being Upamecano and Kim Min-jae, they're quick, they're powerful. If you're playing transition ball trying to get in behind, but you're coming against 2 quick centre-backs, that's not going to work. And we were playing transition ball where we were expecting Anthony, Højlund or Garnacho to do a run and make something happen. Transition ball can be good. Some of the big teams like Liverpool use transition ball, but when transition ball isn't working for Liverpool, Klopp adapts and Liverpool break down the teams. They have 1-2 passes, they have other options. It's like we don't have a plan B today. And that was really worrying because it was very obvious from about minute 10 that transition ball wasn't going to work because Højlund was getting bullied. Garnacho couldn't outpace his man. Anthony couldn't outpace his man. So if we're expecting to go direct and play transition ball, it's not going to work. We brought Anthony as a possession-based player to link up with runners around him. We're now making Anthony play transition football. Why? Because it suits McTominay. We are building a team around McTominay's strengths when McTominay doesn't get in the game. Bruno, who's our best attacking and creative threat, is being moved deeper to accommodate McTominay because McTominay consistently does nothing but he provides goals. And that is on Erik ten Hag. You wanted Scott McTominay sold. He was not part of your plans. You're now dropping your main players. Your new signing Mason Mount. You're signing Amrabat in the past and taking Bruno out of position to accommodate McTominay because he was a super sub. He scored 2 goals versus Brentford. He's our top goal scorer of the season. He's our top goal scorer because he's a box-crashing winger and he's difficult to mark. But when McTominay doesn't score and when McTominay doesn't contribute, when McTominay doesn't score, he doesn't contribute. It was like having one less guy in midfield today. It was a ghost of a performance. I couldn't even remember him on the pitch. And you have to look at that and you have to blame Ten Hag. Why is McTominay playing? Why is McTominay consistently playing when he offers nothing? Why isn't he being subbed off? You finally bring on Maino, who did more in 2 minutes than McTominay did the whole game. But why is Varane coming off for Maino? I get that we're going with that bit of attacking intent. But what does McTominay have to do to come off? Because he holds back the team. Yes, he scores goals. Yes, you're looking for someone when we're not leading a game to come and get a goal out of nowhere. And McTominay might be that guy. But he holds us back in every single aspect of the team in build-up, in chance creation. Because if we get better in build-up, if we get control of the ball more in midfield, and we have better passes and players in possession on the ball in midfield, we're naturally going to be able to break down teams' low blocks better and have another outlet in terms of creating chances, which means we'll have more people to feed the ball to Højlund. Had Maino played instead of McTominay, I guarantee you Højlund would have had double the amount of touches. But Ten Hag seems to be persisting with this McTominay experiment, and it's going to get him sacked because it's clear he holds back the side. People will blame Højlund and his lack of touches, but no one fed him the ball. The only shot on target was Luke Shaw's distant attempt. Luke Shaw's injured, Maguire's injured. The positive was that Varane was good. I thought Amrabat actually had a good game when he was tasked to do a lot. But what was worrying today was the body language of the players. From minute 50 onwards, there was no belief from the player. It was, even when there was transition opportunities, they would stand still rather than sprint forward. It was just like the players who'd given up. It was like the players were bored of the match. And then an 18-year-old Kobbie Mainoo comes on. He's played less than 10 senior appearances for United, and he's the most composed player on the pitch with the most intent out of anyone. And he's done more than the rest of our team and anyone. I mean, look, Bruno's injured for Anfield, but it's got to be a Mainoo Amrabat pivot. And when Bruno's back, drop McTominay. Please do. People can't blame Rashford today. People can't blame, I don't know who they want to blame today, Martial today. We're still crap without Rashford and Martial because the midfield is so unbalanced that the attackers are starved. Rashford's ability to just score goals out of nothing last season masked how many problems we have in attack. When Rashford's not playing and Rashford's goals dry up, there is nothing in attack. And it's not helped by midfield. We set up the team to accommodate McTominay today. We looked more solid defensively because Bruno stayed deeper. But our attack was non-existent as a consequence of that, and McTominay offered nothing. It's either chaos ball, where Bruno gets further forward, but we actually look like we can score goals, or it's boring ball, but Bruno drops deeper. Why don't we actually bring Amrabat and Mainoo together, play Bruno higher up? I'm not saying that's going to solve all our problems because we're still not good enough in certain areas of the pitch. I don't think the attack is good enough, and it's very inexperienced, but it will help us a lot. I think bring McTominay on for 10 to 15 minutes at the end of the game if you need a goal, adapt your approach. But don't adapt your approach from the start of the game because it's clearly not working and he won't get taken off. It's go save the team with a goal tactics. If we want to win titles, if we want to be a sustainable team that's a threat to the league, it's not about go score a goal tactic. It's about a team that builds up, has more control of the game. And when you build up and have more control of the game, you will get better. That's just the complete fact of it. And I want Ten Hag to do well. I don't want him to be sacked, but right now it's a sackable offence to be top of the group. The players have no intensity, imagination, attack or desire, partly on the players, partly on the manager, but bottom of the group, no passion, no energy to go out and win the game was shocking. And it wasn't even like they looked bothered. It's almost like they were relieved they were out of the group. Oh, we could get an extra day off. It's just embarrassing. And Ten Hag should have made his subs earlier. But Bayern had no desire to win and United had no ability to win. And that was something I saw on Twitter someone said as well. It really was. Because I don't think the first half was bad. We kept Bayern quiet. We were compact. But in the second half, we needed to come out and attack more. And we didn't. We didn't show any intent. We didn't have a single shot on target. Amrabat was good. 100% passes completed. 100% aerial draws won. 100% tackles won. 100% long passes completed. And he was much better because he got support from Bruno. The defence was fine today. And Shane Maguire got injured. Shane Shaw got injured. But the rest of the team was poor. And Mainoo should have definitely come on a lot earlier. And Ten Hag's got to stop this McTominay experiment or he will be sacked. That is a fact. This is not me ganging up on McTominay because I'm not in favour of him. Use him as a sub. Use him as a sub to change the game in the final 10 minutes like he did versus Brentford. Don't use him to start games because he doesn't bring enough to the team. Smash a like, smash a subscribe. Fed up with this club. Be back tomorrow. Bye.